Hi friends and family, welcome back to the channel Sophia Rising. Today what I have for you is just a short presentation on the summer solstice and embracing the sun's divine illumination. Just some ideas of the energy that are available to us now when putting together a summer sadhana, which is a 3-week time period of intentional working with your higher self to cultivate the desired outcomes of the life that you want to be living. Thanks for joining, and let's get going on our journey. On June 21st, we will be having the summer solstice here in the Western Hemisphere, and that is known as the longest day. It is the sacred threshold where the sun reaches its zenith. So we'll have the most amount of sunlight on this day. It's a solar burst of energy. And if you look at the word soul, S-O-L, which means sun, and we are S-O-U-L, soul beings, it's an opportunity for us to work with the energies available when cultivating a 21-day intentional working with our highest self sadhana of surrender. This is nature's greatest offering of solar energy, illuminating every shadow and awakening the spirit within. Let's talk a little bit about the earth wheel or the medicine wheel, which if you want to know more information, there is, depending on where you're from or which ever teaching you what suits you, do your own research. But we're just going to be talking about the earth wheel and the south quadrant. So the earth wheel is 4 quadrants: north, east, south, and west, and each holds its own sacred meaning. The south quadrant, which is where it's symbolized by fire, illumination, and the height of solar energy. The element of fires, the sun's transformative flame burns away what no longer serves, but it's also a energy burst. Spring brought this very tantric, there's the sex energy is in the field, spring is happening, the birds and the bees, life is bursting out everywhere. And this solar energy, the zenith of the solar energy is just that burst of energy to bring that life into its fullest fruition. And the attributes are warmth, growth, transformation, and clarity. So here we're really going to see the strongest of our seeds that took root, the plants that are growing, so to speak, metaphorically speaking here, and in nature. But we are working with the seeds that we planted in the spring sadhana, the 21 days of an intentional working with your higher self. And the spiritual role here is active growth, emotional processing, and energetic transformation. If east represents the quiet spiritual birth of a vision, the south provides the raw kinetic fuel required to bring that vision to life in the material world. It is a spiritual antidote to stagnation and apathy. The sun does not shine for a few trees and flowers, but for the wide world's joy. Anonymous. At the solstice, the sun gifts its fullest light, illuminating not only the world, but every shadow and radiance within your own being. Receive it as the sacred medicine that it is. For myself, I do find that my favorites are spring and winter for doing the cultivating the inner work, the spiritual path. I do find that summer is a little bit harsh for me, as much as I do love the sun and the heat, and I'm currently residing at a beach, and I do love that, but I also experience the harshness of the sun as it can be scorching, and I do find that it just kind of wears me down and tired. But there are some people that just absolutely flourish through the summer months. For me, it's a little bit more of working through the emotions. And I noticed this several years ago where I was recognizing the emotional roller coaster that I experienced through the summer months. And I really had to dig into that. And the conclusion that I had come to is that when as a child, I enjoyed going to school. School was a place, it took me out of my environment. And I found that being in school, it gave me somewhere else to be. And therefore, uh, as an adult, and I was recognizing the difficulties that I was having, and I thought, I love summer. Like, why am I experiencing? Well, it's actually natural and a part of summer, which is the fire and the emotional processing. So when we start to put these things together, we can use the energies that are available to work with. And that's what the sadhana of surrender is about. So if you feel like sharing, leave a comment which season is your favorite season and why. And I'll share that I love the spring because of just how life emerges, and I love winter because I love the solitude and just being able to crawl inside my cave, so to speak, and do a little bit of hibernating and reflection. So anyways, yeah, carrying on. Let's take a little look at what the shadow self is. The shadow self is the hidden chamber of the psyche, those aspects of the self that have been cast out of conscious awareness, not because they are evil, but because they were once deemed unsafe. So think about a situation, perhaps as a child or an adult, where you found yourself in a situation where you could not speak up because it was unsafe for you to speak up. That created a shadow aspect within yourself. So they were once deemed unsafe, unacceptable, or too powerful to hold. In the language of analytical psychology, it is the unconscious mirror holding both the wounds we avoid and the gifts we have yet to claim. It is not merely darkness, but the unintegrated life force. Within it live suppressed emotions, denied desires, forgotten memories, and even dormant strengths. What is rejected does not disappear, it moves beneath the surface, shaping perception, behavior, and reaction, often revealing itself through projection, where one sees in others what has not yet been reconciled within. To walk with the shadow is to enter a sacred rite of remembrance. Through awareness and compassionate witnessing, what was once hidden becomes integrated, restoring wholeness. In this, one aligns more deeply with the greater harmony of being where nothing true is cast out, but only wanting to be brought back into the light of conscious unity. So with working with the summer, the solstice energy, and our personal sadhana of surrender, these are things, tools that we can use to cultivate the desired life or the desired outcome. So we can use it to work with the already illuminated self, which is open, radiant, and whole, and the shadow self, which is hidden, unmet, and waiting, resulting in acceptance, integration, and transformation. We can use and allow the solstice sun to reveal, heal, and honor all parts of our being. Use the sadhana and the summer solstice and the energy that follows for the 21 days to center yourself in the present moment and to commit to integrating and honoring all parts of your being. At any time, you can stop and pause the video and read the slides for yourself. May the brightest light awaken your whole being. Carry the energy of the solstice forward. Let the sun's illumination guide your path, heal your shadows, and ignite the radiant power within you every day. The sacred fire element of the south. The sun in its fullest potential offers a sacred healing gift, energizing all. The south stands as guardian of the solstice gate on the medicine wheel, or earth wheel, as I call it, represented by the element of fire. From fire, we get warmth and light. Fire can be kind, providing warmth and illumination, or destructive and scorching and burning. If we carry the sacred fire within us, we can share it with others, either kindness or scorching. I will, with my own will, which flows from divine will, to be well, to be healthy, to be prosperous and spiritual, to be well, to be well. That is a mantra that I use daily. And I learned that from Paramahansa Yogananda. But with discipline and strengthening our own will, using our will to cultivate and create a life that creating the desired outcomes, and using the 21-day sadhana to create those patterns, those algorithms, those chosen habits. The south represents the blazing midday sun and the height of summer, infusing spirit with playfulness, curiosity, and expression of emotions. The south represents how you seek to shape yourself and the world you live in. We cannot change the world itself, but we can change our world. And that is where your will and discipline comes in. The teaching of kindness can be found in observing the resilience of plants during the summer months. Kindness is the response to life's greatest challenges and lives in the center of your heart when working on personal growth. Sadhana of Surrender and 21 Days with the Solstice Sun. Beginning on the day of sadhana, create a 21-day sadhana of surrender to cultivate will and work with your highest self in manifesting the life of your desired outcomes. This practice harnesses the peak solar energy gifted at the solstice gate, surrendering what no longer serves while actively cultivating the sacred fire of intention. Each day, offer yourself each day offer yourself to the process. Release resistance, align with your highest self available, and allow the sun's illumination to guide your will towards your truest path, your highest path, your most sacred path. 21 days to build discipline, deepen trust, and step fully into the life you are creating. What I have here is just a little outline suggestion for what a 21-day daily practice could look like. So take what you like, throw the rest to the wind, build your own. This is just an idea. These are things that I do myself. So each morning, beginning with the 21 days, each morning beginning with the solstice for 21 days, rise with the sun. Greet the light as it enters your space. Thank it for rising. Set your intentions. Speak it out loud what you are cultivating. And of course, this is done at your sacred space, your little altar that perhaps you have set up for yourself. Speak out your intentions out loud. Your word is your wand. And speak it clearly, concisely, and affirmatively. And then surrender it. And also surrender at least one thing that no longer serves your path. Just give it to the universe. You can also surrender gifts that you want amplified with, and the solar energy is the perfect time for amplification. Visualize and see yourself living in your desired outcome. Allow yourself to experience that joy and excitement of experiencing what it is you're working towards, what it is you're using your will to cultivate in your life. Just give yourself daily time to bathe in that joy and call upon hummingbird medicine, which is the nectar of life, the joy in life, and just go for a swim in that lake. Something else you can do is move your body, which cultivates chi, energy, and you can take that energy and focus it into your intention. It's kind of like stirring the cauldron. Journal, write it down. There's power in writing things. And sometimes when you go back and revisit a journal, you'll notice that you left yourself a little gem. So I'm very for journaling. Journal what and write what came up for you, what shifted, what you are grateful for. Journal the things, the beautiful aspects of your life, which then ensures their continuance in your life. And always close with gratitude. Thank yourself and the sun for this day. Commit fully, trust the process, and let the fire transform you. Well, here we are at the end of our video for the summer solstice sadhana. I would like to thank you if you've watched this video, and my wish for you is may the brightest light awaken your whole being. You've walked through the solstice gate, you have met the sacred fire of the south, and allowed its warmth to illuminate all that you are, the light and the shadow alike. Carry this flame within you, share its warmth with others, and let your discipline become devotion, your surrender become strength, and your will become the bridge to the life that you are creating. The sun has gifted you its fullest power. Now embody it. Aho, and so it is. Take best care. Talk soon, my friends.